What it do, how are you? So today's video, we are talking about all of the diss tracks from Kendrick and Drake's beef. What we're gonna do is we're gonna rate each diss track individually, and we're gonna go from S to F. Now, if you're unfamiliar with anime rankings, the rankings are S is the highest tier, F is obviously the lowest tier. So it's kind of like you was in grade school, but not so much. So let's go ahead and get it started. We're gonna start with the first one. We're gonna go in chronological order. We're gonna start with first person shooter. First person shooter, I would give it a C. And the reason I would give first person shooter a C is because it wasn't all about Kendrick. There was just bits and pieces that were about Kendrick, which obviously started the beef off. And the song itself is good, but for a diss track, it's a C because the whole thing wasn't necessarily about Kendrick. It was supposed to be just a song, and then Kendrick got some shots thrown in there. So as far as diss track goes, rating it based off itself, I would give it a C. Now, next, we're gonna go, again, because we're going in chronological order. Next, we are going with, the next one was, what, because there was first person shooter, and then there was, Like That. Okay, Like That, I rated a B. Now, the reason I rated Like That as a B is because as diss tracks goes, it was pretty good. It was a pretty solid diss track. But the only thing is I didn't rate it an A plus, or an S, because the entire song wasn't geared towards a diss. It was just Kendrick's verse that was really just a diss, right? And Kendrick, his part was really good. His lyrical ability, saying F the big three, that was a huge statement, right? Telling J. Cole, like, I don't know what you're talking about. There is no big three. It's just me, right? But as far as diss track goes, and again, rating it based off just itself, I would put it at a B. This diss track, it basically got the whole thing started, because that's when everybody was like, oh, this is serious, right? It was like, now we get to see Kendrick versus Drake, or Kendrick versus Drake and J. Cole, as we thought in the moment.
Hey, what you gonna do, Cole?
And now we get to see who was the best, right? Which we had been thinking about for years. So as diss tracks come, I would rate Like That as a D. Now, let's go to the next one. Then comes Push-Ups, right? Push-Ups, I would give an A+. The reason I gave it Push-Ups an A+ is because of this. One, Drake wasn't just going at Kendrick, he was going at everybody else, because he said it's a 20v1, right? So he was going at the other, like, all 20 people, and he was murking them at first, right? He was doing really, really well. He started off strong, and the track isn't bad. It has replay value. I listen to it still, and I think what he was saying against Kendrick was funny, because he was telling, like, he's short, right? Like, you got small feet, stuff like that. The push-ups verse, it was, the push-up word was clever because he saw Kendrick doing the push-ups. So overall, I would give it like an A. I'll put it A, not an A+. I'll give it an A, right? Next comes Tailor Made Freestyle. Now, this is a real controversial one, Tailor Made Freestyle. The reason that it's so controversial is because people did not like the fact that he used Tupac's AI voice and Snoop Dogg's AI voice. From what I understand, Snoop Dogg was fine with it. He was like, it is what it is, it's whatever. And I think it elevated hip hop. But people were upset because he used Tupac's voice, and Tupac is obviously dead, RIP. So this one is really controversial. And a lot of people are either saying that they really liked it, or other people are saying, like, yo, it's really disrespectful to Tupac and I didn't like it. But I will say that I will rate it a B, because it was another one to keep the fire going, right? And it wasn't the most lyrical or anything like that. I will say it was pretty creative and it was a good instigating tactic on Drake's part to bring in, like, that Tupac verse, right? Now, I don't know how I feel about it personally. If I would be okay with Drake using my voice, like, let's say if I was a popular rapper and Drake used my voice, right? Or let's say somebody, like, I knew Tupac, right? And he used Tupac's voice and he's deceased. How would I feel about that as a friend or as a family member, right? And from what I understand, the family was not too fond of that, which is why they made him take it down, right? So, and of course, the rumors are that Drake had said that Kendrick called the Tupac estate and had them take it down. I don't really believe that rumor. I don't think that Kendrick could do something like that. I do think that the Tupac estate got wind of it and they were like, yo, you gotta take that down, and they didn't mess with it. So overall, I would give it a B. I thought it was pretty creative. and it was pretty good. I would say 7 Minute Drill was up. You could put 7 Minute Drill in there, but the thing is this, and I know people have been, some people on my TikTok and stuff have been saying like I'm a Cole hater. I'm not a J. Cole hater. I like J. Cole. I don't like him better than I like Kendrick and Drake, but I do like J. Cole, and I do recognize that he's one of the greatest of the 2010s. I don't know if I could put 7 Minute Drill in this beef or in this video, and the reason is because he bowed out, right? He's the one that said like, I'm out. So do we count his or count it not, right? Do we not count it? Let me know in the comments, do you count like J. Cole 7 Minute Drill? Do you count that basically a part of the beef, the history? Or do you say like, nah, he bowed out, I don't count it? Because personally, I would say I don't count it because he bowed out. Now, I remember when Euphoria dropped. I remember I was at my office and my homeboy, he texted me, he said, yo, Kendrick dropped. And I was like,
it is time.
And as soon as I heard Euphoria, he said, don't tell no lies about me. I don't tell no truths about you. And he dropped the beat. I was like, get him, Kendrick. Get him, Kendrick. They've been talking that stuff. Get him, Kendrick. Okay.
Turn me up, Kendrick. Turn me up, Kendrick. Turn me up, Kendrick. Let's go, though. I think he's finna smash.
Let him have it. Take the gloves off. Like, so I would say like I would rate Euphoria. I would rate Euphoria AA. I would give Euphoria an A. It was a great diss track, classic diss track. Said some funny stuff, had bars for him. That YNW Melly line made me pause the track and go like, definitely a great diss track. Next one, 616 in LA. Now people are just realizing now that the beef is more settled down. People are realizing that 616 in LA was actually a pretty good diss track. I would rate it a B. And the reason I would rate it a B is because of this. It wasn't a jab. It was more so of a warning shot. That's what it was. It wasn't a, I'm putting this out there as a like diss track. It was Kendrick warning Drake. I know things about you that you don't think I know.
But I know something about you.
And also don't talk about my family again. I really think it was just a calculated move on Kendrick's part to give him a warning. Like, yo, you want to rap? We can rap. But don't take this places you ain't willing to go. Because I can go further.
Rabbit hole is still deep. I can go further, I promise.
And so I would rate 616 in LA a B. Now, next we have Family Matters. I would rate Family Matters a. But the thing is this, I wouldn't rate it, and it's giving Family Matters an A is kind of hard for me. I'll tell you why. Because personally, the second verse of Family Matters is hard. Beat was hard. What he was saying was hard. Was dope, right? I love what he was saying. But the thing for me is this, the first and also third beat, the beat switches, I really wasn't messing with personally. I wasn't messing with the beat switches personally. Now let's talk about the substance real quick, what he was saying. I say this, the substance of what he was saying regarding Kendrick, pretty crazy allegations, right? Especially if you don't have the proof to back it up, right? That's for one. For two, his, like, what he was saying, to me, I was like, okay, but it wasn't really sticking with me. You know what I'm saying? Verse number 2 was the hard part for me. So that's why I gave it an A, but it was pretty challenging for me to give it an A because the first and the third verse, I was like, okay, he's talking. So I would give Family Matters, I would give it an A, but it was a struggling A for me. Still a good track. Verse 2 was dope. Struggling A for me is how I would give it. Next, let's talk about Meet the Grams. Now, I think we all remember what we were doing and where we were when we heard Meet the Grams. And what I was doing was this. I was at this event in Phoenix called First Friday. And I had heard Family Matters and I was listening to it. Because my homeboy texted me, he said, yo, Drake dropped. And I was like, all right, bet, here we go. Listen to Family Matters, yo, this smooth, yo, this dope, whatever. Drake was rapping. I felt like it was no more than 30 seconds later, he said, yo, Kendrick dropped. And I was like, bro, you are lying to me right now. You are lying. You're lying. And he was like, no, check his Instagram, he dropped. Checked his Instagram, saw that he dropped again, and I was just like, this man is this man is insane, bro. This man is demented, I swear. So I listened to Meet the Grams, right? This is the thing about me. I listened to it like outside where there was a whole bunch of people, so I really couldn't lock in. I'm getting goosebumps right now. I really couldn't lock in on how it sounded, but I went up to my apartment to listen to it, and brother, every time the piano played a key, I felt like it was more and more over for Drake. Like when I listened to every key that he was playing, and after every bar, I felt like there's no way that Drake's ever gonna recover from this, bro. It's over. It is over. Kendrick is the boogeyman of hip hop. He is just the most menacing diss track I've ever heard in my life. It was eerie. It was scary. It was cold. And the thing is I feel like it was Kendrick sitting Drake down and just sunning him from his mom to his dad to his kid, just sunning him, bro. Personally, I would rate Meet the Grams as an S. I don't think you can give it any other ranking. I would rate it as an S. It's S tier, highest of the high. Next, we're gonna go to Not Like Us. Now, Not Like Us was the end of the beef. It was the end. It was the end. It was the icing on the cake. It was the last knockout punch. There was no way. Meet the Grams was already bad enough, and Meet the Grams was already unrecoverable for Drake. Now he drops Not Like Us, a club slap, which this is the thing. This is the crazy tactic that Kendrick used. Usually, Drake is used to making tracks that will go off in the club, and he's the one that's used to making it so you can't get away from his tracks. Kendrick now is the one doing a Not Like Us, and everybody's playing it. Not just on the West Coast, bro. On the East Coast, to the Midwest, everything. Now, everybody's playing this track. So now you definitely can't escape for it. And also, from the rumors that I heard that Drake was paying DJs and getting DJs kicked out of clubs for playing it in like Houston and stuff like that. So now it's a part where Drake can't even win. He can't even escape it. Not Like Us was the icing on the cake that made it so it's like this. It was like, Kendrick, he's already dead, bro. He's already dead. Leave him alone. And so then he did that, bro. Then he did plus the pop out with Ken and Friends, bro. Then he did the music video, and I was just like, there's no way that Drake is ever gonna recover from this at all. And it's 2024, about to end. It's in November right now. We ain't heard nothing really from Drake since. You know, we've heard slaps and tracks and stuff like that, but they ain't hitting the same. I wouldn't rate Not Like Us as an S. It was great. Then comes The Heart Part 6. The Heart Part 6, I would rate as an F. I would rate The Heart Part 6 as a D. Not the worst diss track I've ever heard in my life, but it's pretty bad. What it is Drake. This is the thing. Kendrick had been so offensive and backed him into a corner so much that there was no way that Drake could recover and get a jab back or get a punch back. There's no way. So what Drake spent about, I believe, like 6 minutes doing is saying, no, I didn't. And also talking about Kendrick personally. And he had said some stuff about his mom about a word I can't say on YouTube. So he had literally just spent 6 minutes just denying everything that Kendrick had said, but with no evidence, right? So this is the thing. I would rate The Heart Part 6 as a D rank. It wasn't good. I listened to it a few times. I didn't listen to it just once to say it was trash. I've listened to it probably over 10 times. I've listened to it since it came out, and I was kind of just listening to it going like, bro, this is sad. This is just sad. So that's what I would rate that was what I would rate it. Let me know what you guys think. What would you rate each diss track? Everything from First Person Shooter all the way to The Heart Part 6. What was your best? What was your worst? My favorite song is the second verse off Family Matters. That's my favorite one. Even though he's dissing Kendrick, who's one of my favorite artists, the song still slaps. The second verse, not the first or the third. So let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. What was your best? What was the diss track you liked the best? What was the one that you liked the worst? What would you rank each diss track? What would you say is the best bars from the disses? Let me know what you guys think. I love you guys very much, and as always, be easy.